All right, welcome to navigating through the education galaxy. We're kind of having some issues with the chat, so my partner will join us here in just a second. And of course, we'll post the CPE link at the end so you can get your 30-minute credit. All right, welcome to navigating through the education. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Hi, my name is Chad Spurlock. I'm a fourth grade math and science teacher at Beaver Technology Center. My partner here is Christina Etheridge. She teaches ELA and social studies, and she's from Hillside Academy. This whole course is going to be, or this session is going to be dedicated to signing in and navigating Education Galaxy's interface. You're going to learn some possible ideas for your classroom integration and differentiation that I'll share as well at the end. Okay. Well, here's my slide that says exactly what we're going to be discussing. So I'll repeat that one more time. I'm going to show you how to sign in. I'm going to show you how to navigate Education Galaxy's interface. I'm going to show you how to add the students, create classes, preview the content through Student View. We're going to create an assignment, and you're going to see how to assign an assignment. And then, of course, we're going to show you how to create a PDF that you can print, so you can print that assignment. Okay, so what is Education Galaxy? Education Galaxy is a highly useful digital learning platform that offers practice, instruction, and assessments that can be tailored to the learner or whatever you as a teacher need at a specific time. The areas covered with this program include science, reading, writing, and math. The ITSE standard that we'll be covering is computational thinker. This focus, the cycle that this is also going to cover is differentiation, and I'm going to discuss how you can use this tool to differentiate in your classroom and increase digital literacy with your students. Okay, so at this time, I'm going to go ahead and let you know a little bit about my class, and it might be a little bit different than yours, of course. But you can tailor it to your needs. Most classes that I'm aware of have some desktops. Okay, so it will be usable. And of course, you can also use it in a computer lab. In my environment, we have one-to-one with MacBooks and iPads. So this is a tool that gets used very often in my classroom because of that. Okay. We've included it in digital literacy resources, as you can see here on our little Beaver Technology Center resource list. We like to pass this out to parents so that the students know that they can use this at home. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Education Galaxy's website, and I'll show you how to sign in. And the website is exactly as it sounds, educationgalaxy.com. Okay, and you're going to click the login button to log in. And this is going to be the same way that students log in as well. Okay, if you don't know your password, it's already set up for sure if you have this program with your CTA. So you just need to ask them for what your password is or what the steps are to get it. Once you're logged in, it has a whole bunch of tutorials. It has a getting started guide. So there's a lot of help for you to get started. This webinar, though, is going to take it a step further and just jump to the things that I specifically use that I think you will find useful in your classroom. It's merely a simple guide when you can get into details with all these other helpful tutorials that are on the website later on. Okay, it has this wonderful walkthrough that you can do to get little check marks and earn little points as you view as a student, add a student, create a class, have your students log in and begin, and then pull a report. You're going to know how to do those things as soon as we're done with this webinar, and it should help you out a whole bunch getting started with Education Galaxy in the classroom. Okay. So we've signed in here, and like I said, this is the landing page here. All right. The interface is pretty simple. You have your home button, of course, which will always bring you back to this page. Your profile, which you can change some settings, but it's pretty limited, mostly controlled by your CTA. You have a student center, and this is going to be a very important section that we talk about here in just a second. I'll come back to that. Your assessments, your reports, these are going to be great when you have those parent conferences, and also even when you have those one-on-one student conferences. Okay, and support if you ever need help. They also have a parent letter that you can send home and tell all about what this program is and kind of help explain how you're going to be using it in the classroom. Okay, so navigating the interface here, I just showed you the main buttons up there. These are the ones that you're going to be using to get through the website. As far as adding students, all right, when you begin Education Galaxy, your students have to have usernames and passwords. Most of the time, your CTA will have all the students inputted, but you still have to set up your specific classes for your grade level or whatnot. So to do that, let's go ahead and learn how to create and add classes. Okay, go ahead and navigate to create a class under Student Center. Okay, you're going to find your grade level. I'm going to select 4th. And then you need to name it whatever you want to call it. I think I have my homeroom class called homeroom or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Okay. And then you're going to, you can search for specific students, or you can just go down the list and you can add them as you go. All right. And then once you've added the students that you need, you go ahead and click create class. And that will be it. You've created your class. You can create as many classes as you need. After you're done creating your class, you can go ahead and go back home. And it should show up. And let's freezing up here just a second. Okay, you should, after you've created your class, you've added your students, and you said create, you click the button. You click view classes, and you should be able to see the class that you created right here. Okay? If you ever need to change, delete, or add classes, you may do so. Okay? In the past, I've used this for making small groups so that I can assign specific things to specific groups. You can do that as well. Your number of classes are unlimited. You're not, there's no set limit on how many classes you can you can create. So the possibilities are limitless as far as how you want to handle it and how you want to assign things. Okay. So speaking of assignments, we've created our class. So let's talk about assignments. Let's see if the menu will come down there. Okay. Click on the assessment button, and under the assessment button, this is where you have a couple different options. Okay, you can build your own test. You can view other tests that have been created, and these are other tests that have been created in your school. This is going to be the assignment builder where you actually create an assignment. And then this button right here is going to be where your assignments are going to pop up. Over here, I'm not as familiar with. It's creating a writing task. I don't do those. So that would be something to explore on your own and follow those instructions. They have it spelled out there to see how well that works. Okay, so let's go ahead. Since I want to show you how to do an assignment, let's go ahead and click on the assignment builder. Okay, select what type of assignment you want to make. I want to automatically create an assignment by topic. Click the next button. Okay, choose what date you want to assign it. Let's pretend like my students, they're going to come in next Monday. Well, I guess that would be, there you go. We'll go ahead and select that. And it's going to be due that same day. We'll say we're going to do it in class. Okay, I'm going to select the class that I created earlier. Okay. And then click the next button. Okay. I'm going to select what this is going to apply for. So Education Galaxy is centered around STAR standards. All right, that's the aim. All the questions have the rigor that they're going to see on the STAR test. For this one, let's say we're going to focus on the math test. Okay. All right, and I select what I'm going to focus on. I'll say place value. I click assign. So now my students have been assigned that assignment over place value. I can check to make sure by clicking on assessment, going back to my assignments, and there it is right there. It tells me the date that it's assigned, so when it's going to be available to the students, when it's due, of course the title, what class it was assigned to, and then it'll eventually tell me once they start finishing it up what the average score was. I can preview it to see the questions, make sure they're good ones, of course. All right. And then, so later on, I can use this to go over in class. We can review together, do whatever you like. The questions are really wonderful. I haven't found too many questions that I disagree with on this program. But of course, before you assign anything, please make sure that you check over the questions, make sure they're relevant. Okay. So say I like it. It's great. I keep it there. That's wonderful. If I want to edit it, I may. Okay. I click on edit. I can change the date. It's not giving me the option to change the students at this time. I was able to do that before, so I'm not sure exactly why it's doing that. But I'm going to keep it, so it's good. Okay. And now that's how you assign something in Education Galaxy. Let's go ahead and take a look at how you can create your own test, your own quiz from this the question bank. So you're going to click on Build a Test. Okay. You're going to select, of course, your grade level that you want it to apply to. Select the subject. And the passing percent, what you want them to say is mastery or not. Okay, so go ahead and put that for now, and then I'll call this a test. Okay, now it's going to take me to my questions. All right, so I've already selected it's fourth grade, that it's STAR Math, and that now I need to select my specific topics. This is where you click on Choose Topic, and you can be really precise on what TEKS you want to hit. They're really needing help with their multiplication strategies and their division strategies. That assessment's coming up here after Thanksgiving, so I want to create something specific to those. Confirm selection. And then I'm going to click on Fetch Questions. And it also has the option for questions in Spanish as well. You just have to click on Show Questions in Spanish. So it does have that ability. And I can go through here now and I can add questions that I like by clicking this little arrow here after I've selected the question. Okay, I can go down. I can select a few more. Maybe it's an exit ticket and I only want a few of these. So I only select maybe 3 or 4. Okay. Further down, it's going to have some multiplication questions, but for time's sake, I'll go ahead and say that I like this. I want to go ahead and save and preview. So I'm going to select the Save and Preview button or click it. Okay. It has it set up. Now I can assign it to students from this point with these selected questions that I've selected, or I can create a worksheet. And if you're in a classroom where you don't have one-to-one devices and you can't get down to the computer lab, or your desktops aren't working or something, whatever, you have to print it out, you just click on Create Worksheet. you have the choice of PDF or Word. And you click on one of those buttons, that worksheet will pop right up. And then there you have it. It's right there. Um, most of the time, it will have the answer key right at the bottom. Okay, so you have that already available. And that's as simple as it is. You have your worksheet created there. Like I said, it did have the option to assign it on Education Galaxy to the students or create the worksheet. So that's two great options there. All right. So that's a big portion of Education Galaxy that I use. Other ways that it's been used, they have this other section called Liftoff. That you take the diagnostic test, which let me take a step back. Let me show you how to go into student view. Okay, so this is real important if you want to preview what the students are seeing. Okay, under Student Center, we have the button called View as Student. And go ahead and click on that. Select the grade level, of course, that you're in, that your students are going to see. 4th grade for me, of course. All right, and this is exactly what their screen is going to look like when they log in. So what I recommend is you spend a little bit of time on here so that if it's the first time that your class is getting onto Education Galaxy, you know what you're saying and how to help them navigate through. So I'm sticking on Education Galaxy right now. Okay. And here you have all the options. They're going to have a little alien card. This is one of those incentives that keep them going, keep them trying their best, getting the correct answers and so on. They're going to earn alien cards. They're going to be able to change their avatar. They can check out their stats of how well they're doing and their game scores. Okay, this platform is really incentivizing them to do well because they earn new games, they earn new space shuttles and stuff like that. So in here, under my assignments is where they're going to see anything that you assigned. Of course, I don't have anything on here. This is just a fake teacher view, but that's where they're going to see any of those assignments that you make and create and assign to them. Okay. My diagnostics, this is where you're going to tell them to take their very first diagnostic test. Okay. If they take it, it'll then pop up a recommended topics for study. It'll be specific to them, how well they do. And it'll also give you the chance to print out a really great report, which I'll show you here in just a second, that you can use for conferences and one-on-one with the student as well. Their study plan. So this is what they're going to click on to actually see the different topics that they can do on Education Galaxy. I'll use math as an example here. Okay, and it has them listed by TEAC. And what I recommend is maybe printing out some kind of sheet, a click sheet, where they can track their progress and say which ones they've done and kind of show off to their parents how well they've done. That's kind of what I do in my class. But they're all listed there so that you can be specific if you want to tell them what to do on a certain day. And since I'm in this view right here, I can go ahead and tell you in my classroom, I use this as either a station, okay, or sometimes an exit ticket. And most of the time it's a bit longer for an exit ticket. So I'd say it's a small quiz. I tell them to go in there. Since we're one-to-one, they have their device already and they can do that. You can use it as a station with your desktops in your classroom. And as they rotate, they can do the problems. They're a little bit lengthy. Each one has about 10 questions. So of course you need to allocate that amount of time when you are rotating them. Really wonderful questions, though, star-centered. Okay. So we've got the diagnostics. If you want to start out, you can have them take that. The recommended topics of study, that's only going to pop up when they take that. And then the study plan is where you're going to tell them to go to specific topics that you haven't created that are already pre-made. Okay. Also, it has my skills practice that they can go into. And for instance, math, it has different options. where it's a quick practice. It shoots them a little game, and it's quick scoring. It keeps them really interested. It's worth trying as well. Again, I want you need to get in there. You need to give it a try and see what you like and what you think your students would enjoy. Okay, so that's the student view. Let me go back to home. Okay. All right. So, and this is always going to pop up, and this is moving kind of slow, so I apologize. There we go. Let's get rid of that. All right. So, say they've taken your test, or they've done the diagnostics. Um, you can pull all of these different reports to see how well they're doing. You can pull it individually by student according to the standards. You can see the progression. You can compare them. uh, Galaxy Stars. I haven't used that one myself, and then session summaries as well. Assignments, you can see as the class what they've completed per student, and then the assignment details. Along with the skills practice that I showed you in the student view, you can also look up how well they're doing there, what the usage is. There's just a lot of different reports that I recommend that you look into and see which ones you like. I definitely recommend the specific to the student reports during conference times and one-on-one times when you're sitting down with your student. Okay. So let's see, that's pretty much the gist of navigating Education Galaxy, how to get to different things. What you're going to want to do first is check out creating the assignments, create your class, get them in there, get them familiar with it, show them, tell them where to go and what to click on. They'll get into the games. They'll be very interested. They're really going to buy into it. Um, in my class, like I said, I use it as small groups, stations. I use it when I'm differentiating my students that have mastered a certain topic. With Education Galaxy, let me go back to the student view. They can actually move up a grade level. So if they've mastered a topic and you really want to keep them challenged, keep that differentiation going, you don't want them to just sit there. They're able to, over here in the right corner, click on being able to move up one level. And of course, this goes for students that maybe need to move down and maybe check their previous skills. They can move down one level as well and practice those. And then once they're ready, they can move back up to the 4th grade level. So there's many different options that you can use to differentiate in your classroom using Education Galaxy. From what I've seen in my classes, they really buy into it. They enjoy the games. It's really worth investing in. I don't want to say decorating your room, but putting something up on the wall to celebrate achievements. Maybe someone moves up, earns a different card, gets a new space shuttle or something. It's really worth putting something up to know that you're also buying into it. It's a wonderful tool, and that's pretty much how I use it. Okay, so unfortunately, we're having some issues with the chat, and it's not letting us type in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and in my presentation here, I'm going to put the CPE link so you can get your credit. You're going to have to type it in, unfortunately, for it to work. So let me see if I can make that work here. While I'm typing that in there, that's pretty much the end of my presentation here. I have our Twitter accounts there if you want to follow us and get some great ideas. We're always taking pictures and putting them on there and stuff because I know if I put something on there, someone else is going to put something on there, and I'm always stealing things. So please feel free to steal my ideas as well. Okay, so let me see if I can get this typed in here. Okay. So the link that you're going to want to go to is HTTP. See. Okay. And if you could go ahead and type that into your browser and get your credit. Unfortunately, due to the chat not working like it's supposed to, we're not going to be able to answer any questions right now. But if you do have any questions, we have our Twitter handles on there. We both use this program, so we'll be able to answer your questions. Education Galaxy uh, is great about actually answering questions on Twitter as well, or just emailing them directly. And of course, you can also email me at crspurlo, CRSPURLO at garlandisd.net uh, with any questions that you may have that way as well. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Let me give you a few minutes. I'm going to leave that on there so you have a chance to type that in. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day.